Hello and welcome to autoX. My name is Karan Mathur and Kia India has launched two new vehicles in the country. The first is the EV9 full-size electric SUV, and this has been launched at a price of 1.29 crores. Let's take it one car at a time. Let's start with the EV9 before we move on to the Kia Carnival, which undoubtedly is one of the most hotly anticipated vehicles of the country. Now, of course, let's start with the design. And as you guys can see, it gets a closed off tiger nose grille. I think it looks sharp and it really is in your face. Of course, with that, here you'll see a unique DRL signature on the grille, and right beside it, you get the Kia signature Ice Cube style headlights. Then, of course, you have sharp DRLs, which really fold around and give the whole nose a pretty mean and intimidating look. And you can see that this has crystal-like elements which really help the color option pop out, and overall it really will be look intimidating in your rear view mirror. Then you step to the side, and I think the highlight of that has to be this 20-inch one-piece alloy wheels. This gets a triangular pattern, and I think it's pretty unique. It really sets off the look of the car, which is quirky and a bit cutish. And of course, moving back, you get a pretty clean design. Yes, it does look kind of familiar to some of the Kia models in its range. You also get flush style handlebars, of course, adding to the clean look of the car. Now, what is evident from the side profile of the car is the length of the vehicle. It's a big car, and that is also evident once you step inside. But we'll show you that a little later. Talking about design, the black on black look is something I really like. The body panels are blacked out, the roof rails are finished in the body color option, and these really set off the tone of the entire look. But if you're wondering if this is an MPV, it's not. It is an SUV, and one of the highlights is the 198 millimeters of ground clearance on offer. And if you move further back and you're wondering where the charging port is, well, that is right over here. This is something similar and pretty similar in terms of design what we saw with the Ioniq 5, and that's what you get with the Kia EV9. Then with the side profile done, with the front end styling done, let's step to the back. You have this protruding style panel, and with that, of course, you have wraparound style, sharp looking LED tail lamps. And of course, it is unique and it will stand out on the road. But I think the highlight definitely has to be the interior quality, the features that it has to offer. So let's check that out. Alright, now before I step inside, there are three things which really stand out about the Kia EV9. One thing is the space, next is the comfort, and then are the features on offer. One thing, you can see how much space and comfort I really have. Now, as you guys can see, look at the amount of space on offer, look at the fit and finish, look at the trimmings. This is a properly luxurious vehicle. Now, of course, it commands a high price, and I think the interior really justifies that price tag. Now, this is the GT Line interior. What you get with that is brown upholstery, and that is spread across the 3 rows of seats. And of course, you have 64 color ambient system, and with the ambient light, the fit and finish, the quality of materials, I think all of that go together well to really give you a unique and luxuriously appointed Camel. Now, if we talk about features, the highlight definitely are these dual 12-inch screens. You get the digital instrument cluster, and you also get the infotainment system. Now, also a unique touch, definitely something we're not used to in the Indian market, is the digital ORVM. And of course, now how that stands up to the test of the real world conditions in our country, we will have to see. But for now, I think it's a pretty unique touch. Of course, the camera footage is a bit grainy, but it's again a pretty unique affair. Then again, coming back to the comfort, look at the amount of space on offer. I have an absolute flat floor, and that really helps me to spread out. In terms of the storage space also, I have a huge storage space right over here. The full floor is flat, and speaking about comfort, get adjustment for the thigh area as well. Now, which car have you seen that in? Now, let's get back to the features. Of course, you get a thick and chunky looking steering wheel. That's not the unique touch. You get drive mode and terrain mode right over here. This is the best for its convenience. You get the infotainment controls on the right, and you get the vehicle functionalities, including the ADAS functionalities on the left. Then you get level 2 ADAS with 23 safety features. Moving on to the comfort and the features. Of course, you get wireless charging right in the middle. As you guys can see, this is there to hold the phone. You get the auto hold function, you get the hill hold function, you get the 360-degree camera button right over here, and then One thing I would like to show you is the key. I think it is pretty unique. It is definitely different to all the Kia vehicles that we've seen before. And yeah, like the outside, this is also a pretty unique touch. Of course, you get two cup holders. I already spoke about the space right over here. Then let's look at the charging facilities. You get two Type C charging ports. Then you have one 12-volt socket right over here. Of course, this vehicle gets vehicle to loading features, which means you can charge household devices or other devices from the car itself. And this is meant to be an outdoorsy family adventure type vehicle, and that really fits into the whole criteria. Once I step to the boot area, that's when you see the true practicality coming into effect. For now, what you get is a pretty minimalistic looking dashboard. You still have physical controls for the HVAC, and you have haptic controls for the infotainment system, but overall a pretty clean affair. One thing I would like to add, that this still is a family vehicle, and as such you get adjustability for the front passenger seat on the side, which can be used by the rear passengers. As you guys can see, this can be functioned through the buttons placed on the seat scope, and it is a convenient affair. Now, if I have to add to the comfort of the front row, well, you not only get electric adjustment for the driver and co-driver, but these seats are also ventilated and cooled, and you also get heated steering wheel as well. Then over that, if you have to add to the airiness and the openness of the cabin, well, you get two panoramic sunroofs. One, the front sunroof can open, but the rear is a moonroof and cannot be opened, but nevertheless really does add to the openness, environment and ambience of the entire cabin. Now the space, comfort and features which I spoke about in the front row, well, they continue in the second row, because this is one hell of a spacious vehicle. It gets some hell of features, and I think it's a really great place to be. You get the quirky features in the front, but now you have to check out the back. Now, first thing, you get captain seats. These are pretty large, these are accommodating. You get enough space to hold you in place. You get extended headrest. This also adds to the comfort. And remember when I spoke about electric adjustment? Well, you get electric adjustable captain seats at the second row. You also get electrically adjustable third row as well, but I'll just show you that. But for now, what you also get massaging function, the controls for which are on the armrest. As you guys can see, this is where you turn it on. This is the button to change the different modes, intensity and the different areas. With that, the other comfort and convenience features, well, for one, you get a pretty large sun blind. As you guys can see, there was a lot of light outside and that's all been blocked. Then you get ventilated and cooled seats, the buttons for which are on the door panel. Speaking of which, you get pretty soft plastics all over. Either they've used cloth or they've used soft touch material. So overall, the quality of the cabin is really enhanced. Then you get a 70-speaker Rear-Ene sound system. We haven't heard it, but I'm sure it will be pretty great. We have heard that system in the past and it sounds really good. Then we add to the practicality features more by adding this. You get a storage area right in the middle. You also have storage area right above it, and this will really come in handy for large families wherever they want to go. Then you get a 3-zone climate control. 2 zones on front, and then you can control the AC for the second row and third row of passengers right from over here. Then after that, we come to the airiness. This is a pretty large and accommodating cabin, but it's been made better thanks to the dual sunroofs which are available. This is a moonroof. This does not open, but the sunroof in the front does open. So overall, I think the passengers at the back will not get claustrophobic. They'll have enough space, and the open and airiness feel is a plenty. Now with that, I think we step to this third row, because plenty of features there too, and that's going to accommodate some adults. That's going to be able to accommodate large kids and some adults as well. Now, in the third row of seat, there is a bit of caveat. If you set the second row to your liking, now I'm 5'6", and this has been adjusted to my height, but at the back, I don't get enough space for my knee or for my legs. So I think this space is best left for large kids, but some adults will find it a bit of a difficult proposition. However, the comfort and convenience is definitely there. You get 2 Type-C charging ports on either side. Then you have electric adjustability for the third row passengers, and that's going to go a long way in providing the comfort that you're looking for your family. Of course, then you have the extension of the Rear-Ene sound system. You have reading lights, and I think the seats are pretty comfortable as well. They're flat and they definitely are pretty cushiony. So overall, I think the kids at the back will be equally comfortable as much as the passengers in front. However, if you are talking about adults, well, they will find it difficult to be seated here. Alright, now the Kia EV9 may be a three-row SUV, but it is plenty comfortable and it is pretty practical as well. You do get a flat boot space. Now, of course, the luggage space on offer is not that good, but what's great is the practicality features on offer. If you can just call my cameraman over here, look at the amount of charging ports you have. You have a 250-volt AC charging port right over here. You have a trunk hold button right over here. You have a 12-volt socket right over here. And of course, the second and third row of seats are electrically foldable. Now, as you can see, you can do that from the boot space right over here. I can fold the third row of seats down, and I can fold the second row of seats down as well. So overall, I think a comfortable place to be, pretty practical as well. Alright, now let's talk mechanical specifications. The new Kia EV9 is based on Kia's new eGMP platform, and over that it gets a 4th generation battery pack. Now what that entails is that it gets 378 bhp, it gets 700 newton meters of peak torque, and in terms of capability it can do 0 to 100 in 5.3 seconds. Speaking of the battery pack, well, it can do 561 kilometers of range with one single charge. And if you talk about how long it takes to charge this vehicle up, this large vehicle, well, it can be charged from 0 to 80% in just 24 minutes. It also gets ultra fast charging capabilities up to 350 kilowatt. Over that, it might be a boxy and big SUV, but it is pretty slippery. You get a drag coefficient of just 0.28, and that also helps with the range and the power performance on offer. Then you also get different terrain modes and drive modes, and a particularly nice touch is that the drive modes and terrain modes are placed on the steering wheel for easy access. Now overall, this is a pretty powerful vehicle. Electric SUVs in general may be big, but they are fast, and this seems to be so as well. Now of course, we look forward to driving it. That's when we can give you a full verdict of its performance. Now with that, now let's step to the Kia Carnival, because that is a hotly anticipated vehicle for the market. Alright, next we come to the new Kia Carnival, and Kia India has launched this at a price of 63.9 lakh. Of course, let's start with the design, and at the front you get a pretty familiar tiger nose grille. This has been shored by chrome elements all over. Then you get this wraparound style sleek DRL, and of course the signature Kia Ice Cube style DRLs. This also gets a dual tone effect. You get this brush finish on the outside of the grille, and overall this is a pretty mean looking design. It's really in your face, and while the design of the new Kia Carnival look good in paper, I think it really stands out in real life as well. And look, trust me, you need to see this to really appreciate the design language. Now let's step to the side and see what it has to offer there. Alright, now once you step to the side, you'll realize that this is a pretty clean but familiar design. Of course, it has gotten sharper, and there are some highlights which include this brush finish on the handlebars, this brush finish on the roof rails. You get this two-tone finish, and I think it really ties in together. Now, another highlight and my personal favorite touch are these diamond cut 18-inch alloy wheels. Now, this has been shored by Continental tires on this unit, which is on display. And overall, I think it fills in the wheel wells pretty nice. You get a little more SUV-ish style look, and I think it will really suit the buyers from India. So with that, now let's step to the back, because like the entire design, even the rear has been sharpened up, and again, it gets a little more SUV style design. And if you look from the front three quarters backwards, I think the design will really appeal to the buyers of India. Here again, you get a little more protruding backside. The rear profile has been beefed up. You get this one-piece LED tail light, and overall, as you can see, the badging also is stylized. You get this is the Limousine Plus variant. You get two variants to choose from, as I mentioned, and this one is the Limousine Plus. So with that, I think we've covered the design of the front, of the side, and the back. Now it's time to step inside, because that's where the party is. Right now, what we remember from the interior of the old Carnival was that it was spacious, and I think this really carries that forward. You get lots of space, it's really wide, you have enough headroom. all over, I am pretty comfortable. But the interior and the fit, the finish, the features, the quality of material, everything is now on another level. The highlight, of course, are these dual 12.3-inch displays. This is for the entertainment system. This is for the digital instrument console. And the graphics are really crisp. Of course, they're off now. I can't show you that, but the graphics are pretty crisp. It's really easy to use, and information, whatever you need, is right over here. Then, of course, you get this touch base panel for the AC vents. You have loads and loads of storage spaces. You have storage space for your smartphone. You have wireless charging right next to it. You have two large cup holders. As you can see, the size of the bottle holder which is present over here. Then another cool touch is that you get brushed finish for the seat ventilation on both sides. You also get this gloss black panel over the gear lever, and overall the quality of material, the fit and finish, again I'd like to touch upon, is really fantastic. Then if you talk about convenience, you get two Type-C charging ports. Then you have a 12-volt charging socket right over here. You get a large glove box. And overall, even the interior design, if you talk about, you get this tan leather interior. The seats are really plush and nice. They hold you in place well. And of course, this is a pretty feisty package in terms of performance. So the fact that you have the lumbar support and the seats hug you in place well is really good. You get the steering wheel is also chunky. It's nice to hold. You get the infotainment buttons right over here. Then you have car functions right over here, like the ADAS controls right over here. So overall, it's well built. Everything falls to hand easily. The quality of material is really good. It's spacious, and the amount of features which are offered is really a high point. Of course, you get two electric sunroofs, and I think that will really be a good touch for the ambient and airiness that this car is trying to provide. And speaking about comfort, let's step to the back, because I think it's really going to be a family hauler like one you've never seen before. And speaking about extras, you also get a 12-speaker Bose sound system, and I think that's going to be fantastic for the music lovers out there. Then, as I mentioned, you get powered tailgate, and you also get powered rear doors as well. And the controls for which are also accessible right over here. The powered door and the powered tailgate. Both are operational from the cockpit itself. Alright, now stepping to the back, you get these captain seats right over here. This is the Limousine Plus variant, and I think this will be the ultimate comfort vehicle for all the passengers out there. You get electric adjustment for the third row of seats, and you can also adjust the front co-passenger seat right over here from these buttons. Then you get Type-C charging ports and the backrest of the front seats right over here. You get a 12-volt electric socket. You get two large bottle holders over here. You get a smartphone holder right below it. Then of course you get storage spaces on the backrest as well. Then with that, if you add to the convenience, of course, I told you about the two electric sunroofs, and over that, what you get is a 3-zone climate control, and these are independently controlled. And to add to the comfort, you have extension for the headrests. You get ventilated and cooled captain row seats. Then with that, you have automatic rear doors. You have automatic tailgate, and the controls for which can also be operated via the driver at the front. So I think overall it is a comfortable car. It's spacious, it has loads of tech, and it's really going to keep a family happy. Now, of course, the third row seats is pretty spacious, and it can fit proper adults. So let's show you that. Now, as you can see that how much space I have in the third row. My height is 5'6", and I have enough headroom. I have lots of shoulder room, and I have enough knee room and leg room as well. So someone who is about average Indian height, I think will fit in really well. You get cup holders over here, you get smartphone holders. Of course, you have the Type-C charging port right over here. And another cool touch which I really like, I've never seen before, you get sun blinds for the third row passengers. I think that's really going to help on a hot sunny day. Of course, then you have the continuation of the Bose sound system. You have the AC vents which are adjustable right over here. Then you also have a reading light. So overall, I think even though this might be used for young adults or kids, but you have enough feature comforts to keep all members of the family happy in the third row as well. So with that, I think the front row has loads of tech. It's spacious. The quality of materials is really good. The fit and finish is really good. The second row of passengers, well, they're going to be really happy with the space and tech on offer. And as for the third row, well, you have enough space and you have enough creature comforts to keep you happy on longer journeys over here. So overall, the Carnival was a really great family hauler, and I think it's been made even better. It's more versatile, gets more tech, gets more creature comforts, and I think it's going to be a perfect addition to the family garage. So now let's step outside because the dynamics were really good in the previous model, and this also carries forward the same DNA. Alright, now we have to talk about boot space because this is going to be an important topic. Now here I demonstrate the automatic tailgate. You have automatic doors and tailgate as well. Now that adds to the convenience. The amount of sheer space on offer is what's great. Of course, in terms of the length, when all three rows of seats are up, may not be that good, but it's the depth which this car has to provide. See how much place I can fit inside and be swallowed whole. It's really amazing, and it's going to be perfect for a weekend getaway. Now, of course, you can fold these down, and these fold into the space, the cavity which I just showed you, also revealing a pretty large length. See the amount of space which you have then offered with the third row down. I think it's going to be an absolute luggage hauler and transform from a family hauler. So I think that's a pretty good point as well, and really adds to the comfort and the convenience that this car has to offer. You get 640 liters of boot space in total, but the versatility is what is the highlight of the vehicle. Alright, now we step outside again because let's talk about mechanical specifications. Again, here you get this familiar 2.2 liter turbocharged diesel engine. In this state of tune, it makes 190 bhp, 440 Newton meters of peak torque, and it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, what we remember from the outgoing model, this was a pretty punchy motor. It really had a pep in its step, and that's what we loved about it. I'm sure this one will do the same. The dynamics will be sorted as well with this one. So let's move on. Let me wrap up this video now. Alright, so guys, that was the Kia Carnival. Let me remind you, this has been launched at a price of 63.9 lakh rupees ex-showroom. And I think it's a bit on the expensive side, especially considering the prices of the outgoing model, but it is a pretty large and luxurious vehicle. It kind of justifies the price, but I'll only be able to really put a verdict on it once we, of course, get it out and drive the vehicle. As for now, it has been launched and you can go out and book it now. This is available in the showrooms. So what do you guys think of the new Kia Carnival? What do you guys think of this video? Tell us in the comment section down below. Thank you very much.